Hello. If you're able to, please close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Relax your shoulders. Unclench your jaw. Take another deep breath in and another breath out. You can open your eyes now. My name is David, and welcome to Mindful Moments. I'm very happy to report that I am in a great mood today. I'm in a really, really good mood. I'm really happy. I planned to wake up early today and managed to. Planning to wake up early is never the issue. It's the moment. You know the moment I'm talking about. It's the moment when your alarm goes off and you have a second to decide. You could so easily fall back into slumber. Your bed is never more comfortable than the second when you wake up. You could go back to sleep or you could get up like you promised yourself. And for me, I have about zero point 0.1 seconds to decide. If I don't get up the second I wake up, it's finished. It's over. And today, I did the right thing. I got up, did everything I told myself I was going to do. I planned to do some stretching, and it just so happened that when I stretched, there was a beautiful sunrise. It's been quite dark and overcast the last few days, so I wasn't expecting it to be sunny first thing in the morning. And there's nothing that elevates my mood like sun first thing in the morning. It's wonderful. One of the reasons that I struggle in winter is that that's far from guaranteed. So when it happens during the colder months, I'm always super grateful, always very happy. That's had my day off on a wonderful note. I've been seeing a lot of friends this week. I'm seeing some friends later today. That always puts me in a great mood. I'm in a really great place with my girlfriend. Things are really wonderful between us. She makes me so happy. So feeling wonderful about that. Yeah, today's one of those days where I'm able to find the contentment in everything. And I don't take those for granted. I'm very grateful. Especially as I said, I've had not the easiest few weeks. So it's really, really nice to feel like this. I'm feeling very grateful. For those who are watching, you'll also see that I'm in a fleece today. For someone who doesn't like the colder weather, I do love a jumper and a fleece. I love knitwear. Love a good jumper. I have been accused before of possessing dad energy in my behavior and in my wardrobe. It's not an allegation I particularly deny. And when I wear a fleece, I do feel like I'm exhibiting dad behavior. But listen, there's a reason that dads like these kind of things. They're comfortable and they're functional. My most favorite shoe, my most comfortable shoe is the New Balance 530. That shoe is a comfortable shoe. Is it dad drip? Undeniably. Does it support my arches? You better believe it does. Comfortable and functional. Sometimes that's all you need. So yes, feeling great and in a very nice fleece. Today's a good day. Today's a good day. I want to talk about the times where it feels like everything is aligning, where it feels like everything is going well. You hear very often to rely on discipline over motivation. You know how important I think discipline is. You know how much I strive to try and be a disciplined person, to try and do the things I need to do, even when I don't feel like it. But in all the talk about discipline, I think sometimes we don't talk enough about what a great thing it is to feel motivated. Motivation is actually a wonderful thing to feel. Being disciplined is, of course, key. And I think discipline lends itself more to consistency. You can't rely on feeling motivated. But when you do feel motivated, it's really something to be taken advantage of. Motivation can lift and carry like no other thing. You've heard before, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. I believe when the going is good, one must capitalize. You know those times where it feels like everything is aligning perfectly and you feel like, do you know what? I could take control of my life. I could do everything I need to do. If someone threw the world at me right now, I would catch it. That feeling is unbelievable. Often that feeling comes at 3 a.m. when you're in your room and you can't actually do anything about it. But it's important to hold on to it till the morning. It's important to act on it when you can. Motivation is a very powerful tool. And I think it does a lot for you to act when you're motivated, especially if you struggle with discipline. It's not a bad thing to struggle with discipline. It's so hard. It's so hard to be disciplined. And discipline, unfortunately, must continually be renewed. It's not like you're a disciplined person and that's it forever. You have to continue to be on top of yourself to be disciplined. As you know, I did the 75 hard earlier this year, but these last 3-4 weeks, I find it so hard to do the things I need to do. I feel like I've been clinging on by the skin of my teeth to my usual routine and fulfilling all the things that I know I need to fulfill. I feel like I'm in need again of another top up, of a reminder or something to push me into being more disciplined. What's really been carrying me through, though, is me doing a lot in the moments where I feel motivated. Motivation isn't the best to rely on long term, but that doesn't mean it's not something you can rely on at all. In fact, it's in moments where I've been super motivated that I've created leeway for myself in future. Leeway is one of my favorite things. When I was a kid, I used to think leeway was someone's name. I used to think there was someone called Lee Wei who was making everyone's life easier. That sounds like I'm making it up. I promise it's true. And it's something I've never said out loud because it feels slightly embarrassing. I thought Lee Wei was going through life, clearing space for people to have easier lives. Shout out Lee, wherever you are. Seriously though, I love creating leeway for myself. It's one of the reasons I've talked about going to the airport early. Anything I do, I like to leave time for things to go wrong. If I have a video to film, I like to start hours earlier if I can, just to make sure that if something goes wrong, my SD card, if something goes wrong with the microphone or the audio, if I need to edit, I need to give myself a day longer. Even when I upload this podcast, I give myself a lot longer than I actually need to upload it, just to make sure everything goes out on time. And all of that is to create leeway. It's to create space for things to go wrong because things so often don't go the way that we plan. More often than not, I'd say, things don't go exactly to the way I've thought about it and planned it because I am but one thing in this big wide world. Not everything is working in my interests, nor should it be. So it's very common for things to not go to plan or for things to not go the way I want them to. So it's very important to make sure that my future self is capable of dealing with any problems that might arise. I couldn't have predicted that I'd go through 3 weeks to a month of not feeling great, especially because this year has been such a good year generally for me, especially because I'm in a place where I really feel like I'm more disciplined, getting along with things better than I have ever in my adult life. I couldn't have predicted I'd go through a period of time again where I feel really low and I don't feel like I can do the things I need to do. Fortunately, when I did feel like doing all of those things that I felt like I could, I did a lot. When it comes to this podcast, for example, it's so important to me that I have a regular episode every week. So I had a couple of episodes in reserve that I knew I could put out if I needed to. I didn't end up needing them, but just that knowledge made me feel a little bit safer, made me feel more comfortable in terms of going about my regular business, in terms of, I guess anything on my to-do list that I know future me is going to need to have done. I really try to take advantage of the moments where it doesn't feel like a chore or a task to get those things done. And we all get it. We all get waves and bursts of motivation. I think because we're taught not to rely on motivation for good reason, sometimes we don't value it as highly as we should. And I also think when you feel motivated, it's very easy to feel like, I'm going to feel like this again very soon. But you actually don't know. You don't know when a wave of motivation is gonna hit you. Motivation reminds me a little bit of inspiration in that regard. When it comes to inspiration, I feel like you show up every day to whatever it is that inspires you or you want to be inspired by. Let's take creating, for example, making videos. I can't be inspired every time I create a video if I want to put videos out consistently. But when I am inspired is when I make my best videos. So I make videos consistently, and when inspiration comes, I'm ready. It's the same with motivation and discipline. You're disciplined and do the things you have to do every day to make sure that they get done. And then when you're motivated, those things get done to the absolute best of your ability. And it's that golden window that I feel we really need to make the most of. When the going get tough, the tough get going. When the going is good, you capitalize. Those small windows where you can do all the things you feel like you need to do and you feel on it and you feel sharp and you feel like everything is aligning and going in your way, that's to be taken advantage of. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with waiting for those moments. It just means that if all you wait for are the moments when you feel motivated, you'll rarely get anything done. And if you aren't being disciplined alongside the motivation, that's where you can't capitalize as much on the motivation. The motivation is there, but the structure isn't. And the structure is what's most important. You can't work hard at nothing. 10 times 0 is 0. So there has to be something there. But having something there and being motivated to continue to work on the things that you're working on is super, super important. I'm in a good place. I feel very motivated. I could wake up tomorrow and feel at a 0. Today I feel at a 10. Tomorrow I could wake up and feel at a 0. It happens. It's life. But whilst I'm at a 10, I'm going to try and do everything I can to make the most of this time and to protect Vich David, to insulate him, wrap him in bubble wrap. Don't worry, tomorrow's David. Today's David has done loads of things because he felt like it. So tomorrow, if you don't feel like it, your load is a little bit lighter. That's what I'm trying to do anyway. Motivation. It's important. It's a good thing. It's not bad to rely on when you have discipline alongside it. When the going is tough, the tough get going. When the going is good, capitalize. If you feel good, do as much as you can. That is I'm reluctant to say advice. I'm never trying to tell anyone how to live their life, but that's how I feel. Today is quite a short one. I apologize. I didn't really have many deep thoughts going on, but I hope, as usual, it's enjoyable. I hope that you've enjoyed being here. Thank you for being here, as always. Whatever you're doing this week, I hope you have a wonderful one.